You didn't feel it. There were no screams, no explosions, no alarms. But today, your second brain silently died. Imagine a vast, bustling metropolis teeming with life, constantly working to keep you alive. Now, imagine that entire city is living inside your gut. This is your microbiome, trillions of microorganisms that digest your food, defend you from invaders, train your immune system, and even whisper to your brain. You are not just you, you are an ecosystem. But what happens when this delicate ecosystem suddenly collapses? For decades, we've treated the microbiome like a forgotten roommate. Sure, it pays rent in vitamin K and serotonin, but we ignored it while shoving down ultra-processed foods, sugary drinks, and worst of all, antibiotics. Now don't get us wrong, antibiotics are miracles. They've saved millions of lives. But they're also like napalm. They don't just kill the bad guys, they carpet bomb entire neighborhoods of friendly microbes. Take a broad-spectrum antibiotic, and within days, up to 90% of your gut bacteria may vanish. Some bounce back, others never return. Here's where things get disturbing. Your gut isn't just a food tube, it's a command center. Its bacteria break down complex fibers, produce crucial metabolites, and regulate inflammation. Many even shape your mood and cognition via the gut-brain axis. When they vanish, everything falters. Digestion becomes sluggish. Inflammation rises. Your immune system grows confused. It starts attacking your own body or missing actual threats. You begin absorbing fewer nutrients, even if you're eating healthily. Ironically, you might even gain weight despite eating less, because some beneficial bacteria that regulate fat storage are extinct. And what replaces them? Well, nature abhors a vacuum. In the post-antibiotic wasteland, opportunistic species like Clostridium difficile or yeast can take over, leading to severe diarrhea, infections, or worse. Some call this microbial Wild West dysbiosis, a fancy word for chaos. Meanwhile, your cat's microbiome, probably thriving. Cats, like most animals, aren't exposed to daily processed snacks, chlorinated water, or a childhood cocktail of antibiotics, just in case. They eat the same kibble every day, and somehow have a more stable gut than you. Unfair? Definitely. But telling. So what caused this invisible collapse? It wasn't one thing. It was the combination of a single course of antibiotics, a fiber-poor, ultra-processed diet, and a lifetime of ignoring the microscopic passengers that made you, you. And when they disappeared, your body and your future began to unravel. Imagine losing 90% of your forest. Now imagine trying to regrow it with no seeds. When your gut microbiome is wiped out by antibiotics, poor diet, or both, the question becomes, can it bounce back? The answer is maybe, but it's like restoring a rainforest, painfully slow, disturbingly fragile, and often incomplete. After an antibiotic course, some bacterial species regrow within days, others take months, and some never return at all. Your gut becomes a post-apocalyptic landscape where a few hardy survivors try to rebuild civilization. But the ancient architects are gone. This isn't just poetic, it's measurable. In long-term studies, people who took multiple antibiotics across their lifetime often had less diverse microbiomes, with lower levels of Akkermansia, Fecalibacterium, and other microbial superstars that regulate inflammation, prevent obesity, and even suppress colon cancer cells. But here's the kicker. Your diet determines whether the rebuilding succeeds or fails. Feed your gut junk, and the weeds take over. Feed it fibers, and we mean real, plant-based fibers, not synthetic ones in zero-calorie bars. And you nourish the heroes. These indigestible fibers are prebiotics food for microbes. Think of them as rations for your microbial resistance fighters. Oats, beans, bananas, artichokes paste, even onions and garlic. Your microbiome loves this stuff, and when they feast, they produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which strengthen your gut barrier, reduce inflammation, and help regulate mood and energy. Yes, mood, because some of these molecules travel directly to the brain, which means your gut bacteria can literally influence how you feel. And no, that's not sci-fi. It's gut-sci. But wait, what about probiotics? Well, imagine trying to rebuild Rome with Lego bricks. Most probiotic supplements contain a few strains like lactobacillus or bifidobacterium. Helpful, sure, but they're tourists. They rarely stick around. Studies show they often pass right through you in a few days. So why do they sometimes work? In some cases, after specific antibiotic treatments or during diarrhea, they can help stabilize the system temporarily. But they're not the builders. They're more like peacekeepers. Want to go nuclear on regrowth? Try a fecal microbiota transplant. Yes, that's a poop transplant. Doctors take the feces of a healthy donor, rich in diverse bacteria, and introduce it into the gut of someone with severe dysbiosis. It sounds gross, and it is, but it works. Especially in life-threatening C. diff infections, it can save lives. In the future, we may have designer poop pills, tailored to restore specific lost species. Meanwhile, your dog, still licking random things off the floor, and somehow maintaining a healthier microbiome than you. Tragic. Hilarious. True. What if your personality wasn't entirely you, but partly them? The microbiome isn't just about digestion or immunity. That's kindergarten stuff. In the last decade, scientists have discovered something far more shocking. Your microbes can shape your brain. This strange connection is called the gut-brain axis, a literal, physical, biochemical communication superhighway between your belly and your brain. Signals travel through the vagus nerve, hormones, and even microbial byproducts like neurotransmitter precursors. In short, your bacteria can influence how anxious, social, happy, or even risk-taking you feel. Let's get weird. In one famous study, researchers took timid, anxious mice and gave them a fecal transplant from bold, adventurous mice. Within days, the anxious mice became more explorative. Microbes changed their behavior. And in humans, people with depression, autism spectrum disorder, and even Parkinson's disease show distinct microbiome profiles compared to healthy individuals. We don't yet know if microbes cause these conditions, but the link is too strong to ignore. We've always believed you are what you eat. But now it seems you are also what your bacteria produce. And it doesn't stop at the brain. Your microbiome trains your immune system, especially in early life. Without a robust microbial education, your immune cells become confused, like undertrained guards shooting at anything that moves. This might explain the rise in allergies, asthma, and autoimmune diseases in ultra-clean urban environments. We've scrubbed away germs, but also removed microbial teachers. That's why exposing kids to pets, dirt, and nature might be more important than vitamin gummies. And yes, scientific studies show that kids who grow up with dogs tend to have lower allergy rates. Good boy! Microbes also protect against chronic diseases. A healthy microbiome keeps inflammation in check. When your gut community is disrupted, inflammatory compounds leak into the bloodstream, fueling everything from obesity to heart disease and even cancer. Your microbiome is your frontline, your filter, your defense force. Lose it, and you don't just get bloated, you get fragile. So, if you ever feel like you're in a bad mood, bloated, anxious, and your immune system is off, it might not be a you problem, it might be a them problem. And they have been trying to warn you. Your DNA isn't the only thing you inherited from your mother. Picture this. You're not born alone. The moment you're pushed into the world, you're coated in microbes from your mother's birth canal, skin, and milk. This microbial transfer is ancient, like passing a biological torch from one generation to the next. But what if that torch is flickering out? For most of human history, children inherited a robust, diverse microbiome from their mothers and from their environment. They were breastfed, lived close to nature, played in dirt, shared meals, and rarely saw soap. But in just a few decades, everything changed. C-sections, antibiotics, pasteurized food, hyper-sanitized homes, chlorinated water, and even wipes all chipped away at this microbial chain. Babies born via C-section start life with less microbial diversity. Those not breastfed lose another layer. And those given antibiotics early, their microbial development can be permanently altered. It's not just about bacteria missing in a single person. It's about the gradual extinction of entire microbial lineages across entire populations. Like a rainforest burning in slow motion. Scientists now talk about microbial generational loss. Your grandmother had hundreds of strains you'll never meet. Your mother had dozens fewer. And you? You might be down to half of what your ancestors carried. And once these microbial species are gone, they don't come back easily, if ever. But why does this matter? Because diversity is resilience. In a healthy gut, dozens of species work in balance, metabolizing fibers, detoxifying compounds, modulating the immune system. But in a reduced ecosystem, if one key species is wiped out, no one is left to do its job. Think of it like removing rivets from an aeroplane mid-flight. You won't crash instantly, but you're playing with gravity. And here's the kicker. Even your pet's microbiome, the friendly bacteria on your dog's fur or your cat's tongue, used to be part of your ecosystem. Today, indoor pets also suffer from over-sanitization and poor diets. Modern dogs have fewer microbial strains than their wild ancestors. So we're not just collapsing our own microbiome. We're dragging our best friends down with us. Rough. If nothing changes, future generations might start life with microbial profiles more similar to lab mice than to ancient humans. Clean, controlled, predictable, and tragically fragile. You're not stuck with the gut you've got. Losing half your microbiome sounds like a death sentence. But your gut isn't a graveyard, it's a rainforest. And rainforests can regrow if you feed them right. Let's start with the obvious, diet. Your gut bacteria love fiber. Not the kind you find in white bread, but the kind in lentils, artichokes, beans, onions, oats, the chewy, gassy, earthy stuff that humans can't digest. But bacteria can. In fact, they thrive on it. In one study, people who switched to a high-fiber diet for just 2 weeks doubled their beneficial bacterial activity. Even more impressive? Some lost species actually returned. Fiber isn't food. It's code, a set of instructions telling your bacteria how to behave, what to produce, and whether to keep living inside you. Every meal is a message. So, what are you saying to your microbes? Next up, fermented foods. Kimchi, sauerkraut, kefir, yogurt, miso, kombucha, basically anything that smells like it's trying to pick a fight. These foods don't just carry beneficial bacteria. They act like diplomats, easing inflammation, tuning your immune system, and training your gut to tolerate outsiders again. But here's a twist. Fermented foods alone won't save your gut. They're like planting flowers in a desert. Beautiful, but they need soil to grow in. That's why fiber and diversity must come first. Now, for the wild science. Fecal microbiota transplants, FMT. Yes, poop transplants. Doctors now extract filtered microbes from the stool of healthy donors and insert them into the colons of sick patients. And guess what? It works. In cases of deadly C. difficile infections, FMT has an 85–90% cure rate, often after just a single treatment. It's like rebooting the microbial operating system. In the future, we might carry microbiome backups like cloud storage. Get sick? Restore to factory settings. But even more exciting are the future tools. Personalized prebiotics tailored to your gut genome. Microbial restoration capsules that repopulate extinct strains. Synthetic bacteria that detect inflammation and produce medicine on site. Even AI-designed microbiomes built from scratch. We're not far from turning your gut into an internal biotech factory managing metabolism, immunity, even mood. And remember, it's not just about what you take in. It's also about what you leave out. Avoid unnecessary antibiotics. Go easy on ultra-processed foods. And for the love of microbes, let your kid eat some dirt. In the end, you're not just a person. You're a planet orbiting with trillions of tiny passengers. If you treat them well, they'll protect you, feed you, calm you, and maybe even help you live longer.